get it. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. Yeah, it's lit in the chop shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based the debate, but they keep it facts straight. Going 30 for 30, let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray and Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he hit me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the chop shop, cause they cutting up. It's retro, coming to you live to the chop shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the chop shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the chop shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, coming along with Jimmy the Hat, the cheat sheet, the magazine. Speaking of the magazine, but Jimmy, it's just a great, great day. It's Women Rock Wednesday, and I see my women that's rocking already. I got Lori Dawson, Cynthia Guillory, and Nicole Harris. They are rocking already. Jimmy, it's going to be a crazy, crazy day on Women Rock Wednesday. And Jimmy, I'd like to start off Women Rock Wednesday. I found out a little information about, she's a woman. Not a black woman, but hey, Becky Hammon, Jimmy, is one of the people, Becky Hammon, who is the assistant coach, former WNBA star. Becky Hammon is being rumored to be one of the candidates for the Knicks job. And Charles Barkley came. He came on and said, baby, don't take that job. That's a crappy job. But Jimmy, I want to know from the ladies, it's not but 30 jobs in the whole in NBA. So it's not a lot of openings. So how can you just turn down a job? She would be the first woman ever to head a NBA franchise, be the head coach in NBA franchise. So my question is, should she take the job? Lori, should she take the job? I mean, if offered it to her, or she wait on a better job? Because guess what? You keep waiting, you might not never get a job. You follow me? So what you think, Jimmy? What's going on today? I just wanted to throw that out there.
I mean, the New York Knicks, let me tell you something. They've tried everything else. I mean, they've tried everything. I'm just serious. They've tried everything else. They've tried Hall of Famers as coaches, right? And a la Isaiah Thomas. They've tried fan favorites. They've tried one of the highest assistant coaches coming. They tried at what time the greatest coach ever,
Phil Jackson.
They've tried everything. so guess what? At this point, at this point,
Other way. Other
what
way. Keep
what
talking. There
let
you
me, let
go.
me get it right for you guys.
Okay.
At this point, what do they have to lose? They meaning the Knicks. What do they have to lose? So shoot after her. What? People trying to stuff Mark Jackson down their throat. Obviously, guys, let me tell you something. There's something whenever something that looks so that makes sense to you on this side of the fence, but nobody, not much push is coming from the other side of the fence. Just here and there sporadically. Guess what? It's something with Mark Jackson that that a lot of people inside the business know that probably don't sit well with a lot of people in the NBA.
A lot of owners.
Or a lot of, I said people. I mean, people in the NBA.
Right.
Because otherwise, it would be sort of the Kaepernick effect. It would be an abundance of people. I mean, why? This is great, but nobody's saying that. Everybody's just, they hear it and let the water cream on down. Now, what is silly, and I do attest, is how Luke Walton can get a job with Sacramento in the same eclipsing the same days that you're being accused of a sexual offense legally. That lets you know, understand, makes you frown. But in these situations, my thing is New York Knicks gonna hire another black coach. This next, they will soon, but another one now. We'll see. But that's speaking of NBA news, boy. It's a lot of stuff around. I mean, a lot of things. We go and we make a lap around some of the results from yesterday. Adam, anything catch your eye in the games last night? Now tonight, one game is on the tap that's headlining the schedule, and that's the Clippers are visiting Toronto. Kawhi Leonard returns. Remember, just a few days ago, right? You had, a few weeks ago, you had Kyrie Irving went back to Boston, Boo City, right? Anthony Davis went back to the Pelicans. It wasn't as many boos. It was kind of mixed. Few boos here and there. But Kawhi going back to Toronto, I don't think it's going to be boos. I think it's going to be more or less, they're going to applaud him. You know why? Because he got them a championship.
And guess what he does tonight? He picks up his ring tonight.
He definitely going to apply.
Yeah,
he understand something. That was a fun ride, and we're not even from Canada. Yeah. A very fun ride.
Right there. Yeah.
Right? Very fun ride. And that is, when I say the ride, meaning watching Toronto, watching Drake, hell, I even went to see Drake in concert. The ride was so fun. That ain't,
I went once. I let my son talk me into it. I don't think I'm going again.
I don't remember none of the words from something.
I don't remember nothing.
All I know, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I just know a few hook lines.
Give me one.
A few hook lines.
Give me one. I don't know. I'm trying to figure. I don't know one. I don't know one.
You know a lot of them now.
I'm trying to figure out one.
Get that all up in it. You know a few of them.
I know one of Chris. I know one of Chris Brown's hooks.
But also, how about last night? Speaking of last night, we spoke talking about the Knicks. They lost last night, 87-115. So Fizdale wasn't there. They still got a 30 bomb put on them. They
Jimmy,
still got 30 put on them.
Jimmy, I heard some bad news last night. Somebody told me to tell you hi. That person was in town. I meant to call you. Said, tell your studio mate I said, what's up? But it's Jimmy, I heard some stuff last night that these guys, my guys the guys who I was so proud of, I got on here and sung the New York Knicks praises, but they might have to go. Yeah.
Ain't no mic to it.
But hey, we're not going to expound on it, but they might have to go.
That comes with it. That means that chocolate city that New York Knicks had, from the coaches all the way up to the president.
But Jim, not just chocolate city. These guys has a resume. These guys were some brilliant basketball minds. They made some terrible mistakes. And this is what they told me. They said, but Robert, when you make those deals and you make those mistakes and they don't work, then you got to accept full responsibility of it. I mean, that's just the way it is in a GM. It's nothing against them, what color they are. If they get, I'm going to put it like this. If Kevin Durant don't get hurt, they coming to New York. I found that out. Then when Kevin got hurt, Kyrie took the reins. It would have happened but it didn't happen for them. And they didn't have a plan B. And they signed a Bobby Portis, and they signed a Marquise Morris, them Morris. They signed those guys and gave these guys money. Jimmy, it would have been better if they had signed a lot of G League guys and was still losing like this or play. But when you go out and use that bread, you got to accept full responsibility when the thing don't. I hate it. Y'all know how I praise these guys. But Steve Mills, I don't know if they're going to run him out of the – because, see, Steve Mills got the ability to slide over to MSG, Madison Square Garden, Jimmy, because he was the president over the Madison Square Garden. So he got that lateral, he got that cachet about him. Just like, I don't know if you remember, the owner still loves Isaiah Thomas. He just had to get rid of him because of the sexual assault of things. So that owner, when he likes you, Jimmy, he likes you. But I don't know about Steve Mills, but I don't know about Perry. Scott Perry, I don't know what he gonna do. But yeah, Jimmy, they might get the axe. So what else you got out there?
He said, "Hey, dead man walking, boss." That's what's happening in New York right now.
I hate to say
it. The New York Knickerbockers are the dead man walking. Horrible. The first round, the lottery pick last night, he was 1 for 9 with 5 points. Guess what? It ain't the coach. Kevin Knox, he was horrible last night.
Frank Nicotina.
He played 20 minutes.
What about Frank? What about Frank? Frank Nicotina.
Frank don't even count no more.
I know, but Jimmy, they drafted him in the lottery.
I know, but Frank was before Fizz. Frank
we ain't talking about Fizz right now.
I'm
talking about the guys that might get fired. Okay, you going back to Fizz. I'm talking about
as far as the win, losses, and the productivity of some of these guys. When Fizz was there, he could not get that horse to run around the track. And that's what I'm saying.
So what you saying, they should have kept Fizz? See, I know you like old Fizz.
No. Fizz did not want to be there anymore. You could tell. You could tell if you're paying attention.
The way he was talking.
The way that you're talking, you're laying your players under the bus after every other game. You don't want to be there no more. You already know. It's like, man, I got my bread. I got my buyout. The ink is good. My attorney then checked the contract 2 or 3 times. Man, I can go. I can sit home. I don't want to be around these dudes. They don't want to be around me. I don't want to be around them. Then my boss go rolls me up under the bus to the owner. Hell, I don't want to be working in that type of atmosphere. So there you have it. So guess what? And now Fizz got his shot, and then people say, well, it was an unfair shot. That was a winless situation. Well, guess what? He knew what situation that was in because Fizz passed up another job or two before taking New York. He wanted this task because at the time, a lot of people in New York thought that Kevin Durant was the ultimate lottery ball. Remember now. So now,
Jimmy. Kevin Durant told these guys he was coming, man. You got to realize he told these guys, dude, when I found, the more I just can't tell everything, but the more I found out, they thought they had it, but But in big stakes, in these big this grand scheme of things, when you to whom much is given, much is required, Jimmy, when you play this big boy game, you got to have a plan B, C, and D. Like Belichick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just Belichick said, I ain't know nothing about that. No. But
and so, of course, another NBA news last night. You know, it's Michael Jordan is the majority owner of the Charlotte Hornets. I almost called them the Bobcats, but you know, this season, 2 young players are doing really well for the Charlotte team.
Oh yes.
And one is in the starting lineup, but both of them in the starting lineup. Mm-hmm. But one is PJ Washington,
yes, sir,
from out of Dallas, Texas. PJ was at Kentucky. You guys remember? It was I guess a comparison between him and Jared Vanderbilt all the way through the high school years.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
It was that was the then PJ moved away to Findlay Prep, so that means it took away for the in-state.
Oh, okay, I got you. What high school did PJ go to in Dallas? You remember?
He went to dog it. I can't think which private.
Somebody in Dallas.
That PJ went to in Dallas, but now PJ, they both go to Kentucky. PJ comes and you know he goes back in and stays an extra year after Jared Vanderbilt had came out a year earlier, and PJ goes right in this draft. And guess what? This dude is, I mean, he's balling. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get it twisted. The team is still a sub 500 team, but the man that's really putting it in is Devontae Graham.
Oh, my goodness.
He came out the same year that Jared Vanderbilt came out, 2018, in that draft. And Devontae Graham, I'm talking about, is flat out balling.
And Jimmy, I didn't know he was going to be that good. I didn't know he was going to be that good.
I mean, come on, nobody did. But at the same, nobody did. Not this. Understand, it comes about making shots. Nobody, you can't say you knew a guy's going to make the highest percent, the lowest percentage shot on the court, a 3-point shot. At this clip, do you realize that there's only one person in the NBA with more 3-pointers?
Huh? What'd you say?
Only one. Only one player in the NBA this season with more 3-pointers than Devontae Graham.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know that.
And that's number 13 for the Houston Rockets.
Let me tell you something. Hey, y'all, I'm just going to let y'all know, James Harden's street cred I ain't told you about it, Jimmy, has raised up a little notch higher. So I'm going to be more defiant if anybody talk about James on this air. I'm just throwing it out there. But keep going, Jim, about Devontae. Since you mentioned 13, I had to throw that little caveat in there.
What yeah, I mentioned in regard to 3-pointers. He has 96 trades already. He's shooting 42% from behind the arc. Devontae Graham. This is a young man that wasn't picked in the first round. So everybody missed on him. When you're not picked in the first round, that means everybody missed on you. So nobody thought that. So this is a guy that, guess what? And it's okay. Because it's okay. Because at least, now he got picked in the second round, I think, Atlanta. So Atlanta picked him and let him go to Charlotte. Right? So that was like, okay, just shuffling around. But Devontae Graham, he's really, really, remember now, there's no Zion this year. So in the Rookie of the Year race, this dude right here could very well win Rookie of the Year.
Jimmy, y'all ain't paying. He could, but Jimmy, that little kid down there named in Memphis.
Yeah, but he's hurt. He's hurt right now.
No, he back.
He back?
A monster.
But understand.
He the talk of the league right now. I'm telling you.
Okay. Put Ja Morant. Pull up his stats. And let's go.
I ain't talking about no stats now. Jimmy, do you, Jimmy? They don't pick you because of those stats.
What do you mean? They pick you because of your productivity. Your productivity is what contributes to a Rookie of the Year. And winning always helps if it's a close race. Winning is the ultimate tiebreaker.
So both of these guys going to be losing. I'm telling
Exactly. So winning is a tiebreaker, the ultimate tiebreaker. So that means neither one of those these guys are going to be on a
I'm
winning
not no
team.
stat guy. You got to pull that up. I don't think about stats.
Dude. Your productivity is measured by your stats.
I'm telling you right now, Ja Morant. That's all I'm gonna say to you. I'm not gonna sit up and argue with you about this. You bring up, you can go pull up the stats all you want to.
Okay, what you
Don't
basing
forget
on,
about Ja Morant. Listen,
what are you basing on?
That's
based
all
on,
I'm telling you. Don't forget about his value to the team. I'm gonna tell you what I base it on. Of the NBA guys and the NBA people that I talk to every single day, they telling me he is their top rookie up there. That's all. That's why I'm black. Excuse me.
Yeah, 10 games ago, 20 games ago when the season first started.
I just talked to one. I talked to him. You didn't hear what I said. I say every day.
Dude, you better talk to him tomorrow.
You know what? You are a prisoner of the moment. Anytime something flashy happened that day, you will go get some stats. You'll go get stats, and you're prisoner of the moment. You ain't mentioned Devontae Graham all season.
Because I didn't know nothing about him since he left Kansas.
Okay,
I ain't ever cared.
So
right
you
now,
go look at some stats and think what you say is gonna make him the rookie of the year. It's not gonna happen.
You look at the numbers, and guess what? Bookmark this moment. There's going to be a time in a few weeks or months. You're going to come back on this show, and you're going to know what you're going to say? Man, I didn't realize that dude was this good.
I know who he is, Jimmy. Jimmy, you said he is like, see, sometimes I don't think you listen as well. You remember you said, Robert, there's a difference between listening and hearing. So do me a favor. Use your own words and listen and hearing. I didn't say Devontae Graham was not good. I said, you said he is the rookie of the year, front runner. And I'm telling you,
he's not a rookie. He's not a rookie. Remember, he came out in 18.
Well, we was talking about rookies.
So he's not a rookie.
Well, then, we ain't talking about that. I'm talking about rookie. You mentioned rookie. I thought you said rookie of the year. So what you saying Devontae Graham going to be?
Devontae Graham going to be the most improved player in this league.
That ain't what you said. You said rookie. All right. All right. That's all right. You messed up a little bit.
I said rookie at first.
Okay.
I also said he came out at 18.
That's what threw me off. Okay, I got you.
I said to you he came out in the same year Jared Vanderbilt when he went.
I got you then. Okay.
So that means paying attention.
So right now, you saying
most improved.
Huh?
He's a serious candidate for most improved.
Guess who else is a serious candidate for most improved? Pascal Siakam. Again. He done went from 16 points a game from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now over 26.
Guess what this kid did average last year?
What?
4 points a game.
What do you average?
Guess what he averaged this year? 19 points and 7.7 assists while shooting 42% from three-point land.
So I got a question.
93 pointers made. That's a plus 15 in the point scoring category, or plus 5 in the assist category, and it comes to 3-pointers, he shot 28% last year. Serious candidate.
Jimmy, I'm sorry, King Gamble, y'all. We got you. I thought Jimmy was talking about rookie. He mentioned Devontae as a rookie, but then I'm thinking he's talking about rookie of the year, and I got it wrong. I'm saying that Ja Morant right now is the rookie. And Jimmy, you should have said, no, Robert, I'm not talking about rookie. But you going to argue about Ja Morant. What about his stats? See, that's what threw me off. Why you argue about the stats?
Hold on, time out.
What happened? What happened,
man? I got to put, I should have worn my black suit today. It's for the funeral. I got to do the eulogy today. Join us right now, guys. We have Mr. Katie has came back on the Top Shop after the Katy Tigers 2 weeks ago.
I don't see him.
Got the snot beat out of him and got eliminated by North Shore again for the second year straight in the playoffs.
Say it ain't so, Mr. Katie.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to cherish this thing called life. I'm gonna quote Prince Rogers Nelson.
Unbelievable, man.
Come back. Hey, didn't we listen? At some point in time, if Katy High School ever have a great team and we watch them play, we're gonna acknowledge them as being a great team. We told you this North Shore team, you gave them all the incentive in the world. We're talking high school football right now, guys. When they played Katy Part 2, if they ever met them again, because we were there at halftime, and Katy was losing to North Shore, first game of the season. And then Katy came out and played the perfect second half. The perfect second half. The best defense is to keep the ball out of the hands of North Shore's offense. And they controlled it. This time, North Shore wanted those guys. It was nothing that their coach could do. They didn't need nothing but just lining them up and teeing the ball off. Now, meanwhile, North Shore beat Atascocita like they stole something. I was there this past weekend. North Shore put up 76 points in that win. In a football game, in the playoffs, in the third round, fourth round. Dude, 76 points. So now, this North Shore team, they're on the road this weekend, and they're back at it, playing against Austin Lake Travis. Where's Katy? Katy playing against Al?
With they self?
I can't find it. And also, once again, as I mentioned, high school playoffs. This is the state semifinals is this weekend. A lot of these games are being streamed audio. You can catch them online. I'm not sure about the rules on video streaming, but no, I know Westfield is playing in Houston this weekend, and that's Spring Westfield. And let me see who's Westfield playing. Denton Guy. That game will be played at Sea Kings brand new stadium, the same location where North Shore played Atascocita last week. A beautiful ambiance because it's sitting right on the side of the Beltway. A nice stadium, nice, intimate, and it holds 10,000 fans. 6,000 on one side, on the home side, 4,000 on the visitor side. And that game, once again, Westfield versus Denton Guyer will be televised with the Cube on Saturday afternoon. So if you're in the Houston area, you can set your DVRs to tape the game because this Westfield team they one game away from going to the state championship in Division I of 6A. So remember now, H-Town is rocking in football and want to also, if you hadn't had a chance to watch some of these guys, don't forget about Shadow Creek, man. Shadow Creek, off the chain. Those guys are rolling. Remember now, think about it. They opened up this school, Shadow Creek, which is in deep south of Houston, going toward right between in the Pearland, between Pearland and Fort Bend, in that area, right off 288 and 525, about 2 blocks off that intersection. That's what Shadow Creek High School is. They opened that school to relieve the congestion of Manville High School, right? And this school is already, remember, Shadow Creek is going to 6A next year. This was a 5A school when they opened up 2 years ago. They threw them in the 5A. They're going to 6A. I know Hightower and Foster is happy as a lark. They don't have to worry about Shadow Creek no more after this season in football nor basketball. But this school is the new kid on the block. And so shout out to them. They have a quarterback named Kyron Drone.
Yes, sir.
And he's a man-child. Marshall High School. Shout out to Marshall High School. Wish those guys good luck.
Jimmy, Jimmy, I was away for a second. Where is Shadow Creek going to play where?
This weekend?
Yes.
Don't have a schedule in front of me.
I thought you were saying they're going to play something. Okay, I thought you were talking
No, they're in the state semifinals. I know who they're playing against.
I'm talking about where they playing at.
I think they're playing the Alamo Dome against San Antonio
Oh,
Wagner.
they out of town. Okay, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
I got
And somebody in the Boomer Room can confirm where the playoff and shout out to Angel Verdejo out there in Cyprus. Guess what? The Cyprus Hoops tournament tips off on tomorrow.
you. Oh, it's that. Yes, that's one of my
That
favorite
time
tournaments.
It's that time of year again. And he says, Angel says, some advice for anyone going to football games this weekend. Get there early as parking may be crazy and lines will be long. So you can expect that. Wear something comfortable if you're going to these games. Check the weather report if you're going to some of these games this weekend. Check the traffic, the T-Dot. Go to their website, because a lot of times construction takes place on weekends on one of your favorite freeways. And it's no worse feeling to be in a hurry somewhere and to run right into a detour or filled with delays. Do all of that. It's worth it if you're going plan on getting out and attending any of these youth sporting events. Now we talked about the high school foot basketball. Once again, the Cyprus Hoops tournament. That's one of the top tournaments of December in the state.
Oh yeah.
That tournament there, Lancaster is in town.
Okay. Who else coming?
From that, let me get that lineup. That lineup is somewhere in my email box.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Guys, Angel, you can give us a screenshot or tell us some of the teams that are, because the schedules are out. Remember, they start playing tomorrow. And actually, they sent me the doggone thing to help seed the teams. So,
Right.
But no, that thing is gone because remember, I changed my cell phone service. So I lost all text messages before Thanksgiving. It's gone. I don't see me looking at it. It's gone. But I know I had all the stuff. There you go. Shadow Creek in football, San Antonio Wagner is 7:30 Friday, not Saturday. That's a Friday night at San Antonio's Alamo Stadium. That's not the Alamo Dome. That's Alamo Stadium.
I think it's the same thing, Jim.
Is it?
I think it is. They ain't got that many stadiums up there, Doc.
Is there a difference between the Alamo Stadium and Alamo Dome?
No, I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing. It ain't like San Antonio just got stadiums hanging around there. No.
Why would they call it a stadium then?
It might just. I mean, I
don't know no stadium that has an enclosed dome that a non-retractable.
No,
top.
Angel. Wait, the Angel will tell you in a minute. It might just. He'll tell you in a minute. He might have had a typo.
Now Mr. Katie is speaking.
What did he say?
Let's address his comment. He said it took 20 years, and they did what they were supposed to do. Y'all hype now, but we whooped their ass from 2000 to 2018, and we was the best in Greater Houston until now. So have your fun.
Okay, all right. Have y'all fun. Have y'all fun. Go. Have your fun. Hey, they supposed to have their fun, Mr. Katie. You talk so much. We don't pick them, Jimmy. We don't pick them. We just get them.
Hey, and right on cue, Odyssey done woke up Mr. North Shore himself. He wakes up and said, it's too small to have a big game of that caliber. Like North Shore and Tennessee, it might be too small for this game. Traffic was a damn. You know what? Traffic was horrible.
Oh, it was?
For that North Shore and Atascocita game.
Uh-huh.
It was awful. A lot of people were just getting into the stadium in the second quarter. That's how bad the traffic was on that beltway coming into the Sheldon ISD Stadium. Indeed. So I believe, trust me, I want to reiterate. If you're a Westfield High School fan or planning to maybe attend that game on Saturday between Westfield and Denton Guyer, if you're from Dallas, you're not familiar with this, I'm telling you, the best thing I can tell you guys to do is put on your Waze app, WAZE, and follow that into the stadium. Because one thing about this stadium that I can attest to, there are 3 ways in. But the most common is off the beltway. Don't take that way in.
Jimmy?
Follow your ways and go when you come on one of the back ways. Do one of those back roads.
I stand corrected. San Antonio do have another. See, I forget they got high schools. It's a stadium. It's on 110 Toledo Road in San Antonio. It's not a dome, it's an outdoor stadium. And it seats 18,000. Okay? So they ain't big enough to play in the big. Huh?
We have a question for you from out of the Boom Boom Room. They said the highest attendance for a high school football game nationwide happened in 1948, right? Between Kensington and Bennett, right?
In New York.
In Buffalo, New York. If North Shore and Duncanville faces each other and both win this weekend, if both of them win this weekend, they will face each other in the rematch of the state championship game that was decided on the infamous Hail Mary a year ago. Would that attendance break this record?
I got a question. How many was there last year?
I think it was 40 last year. And I'm gonna look it up. That's a good thing.
Find out. I want to know how many before I make a, because I don't know. I know if Katie was there, was get somebody. But Jimmy, I cannot believe. I thought Allen them broke a record long time ago. It was 50,000 in there.
It was 42,363
last
was
year.
The attendance last year. It's no question that this game would get 8 more thousand fans. Think about it now.
Because the rematch factor?
Yes. And because of the anticipation that comes along with it. Because
Duncanville who ain't gonna be there. Me.
Who that?
Me.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. If we didn't have the Christmas crossover going on, I would be right there, feet on the turf for that game right there. Okay. I mean, it's this game. I mean, why would you not? Why would you think that? Just think about it. 7,637 additional fans. Could this game attract that amount more? Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, and you know what?
So so Dallas and Houston gonna say, hey, we gonna. You saying about 4,000 from Houston, 4,000 more Dallas people gonna say, okay, we getting ready to go see this game. That's all you really saying, and that's not that many. Considering that's not that many. So hey,
hold on. We got to get this. We got some corrections right here.
Okay.
It said Allen versus Pearland has the record.
That's what didn't I say the Allen game? I thought that was it.
Who was that sent us that bad dope?
Melvin Dude sent us that bad dope. Talking about that 19. Hey, hold up, Jimmy. You know how I'd be saying before the shot clock era, before the Super Bowl era. Hey, Jimmy, that might be the most before the Super Bowl era. 1948, Jimmy. Melvin Dude.
Finally on a day when I just take my hands off the steering wheel and try to let some of you guys drive. Y'all run chop shop clean off of a cliff.
Can't let them drive no more, Jimmy.
Bad info.
Can't let them drive no more, Jimmy. Can't let them drive, baby. Can't let them drive no more. Melvin Dude gave us a bad dope.
Yes, man. Allen has the record with 54,700 when they played Pearland. That's the most ever for a football game. In
Cy Ranch had one too. Allen versus Cy Ranch had 52,000. Hey, Melvin. Hey, you know what? Melvin was looking in his encyclopedia instead of the Wikipedia. See, the encyclopedia might not have those in it no more because they don't make them no more. But Mel, you should have went to Wikipedia, man.
Now the question is, would Duncanville North Shore eclipse that 54,000? That's 12 more thousand fans.
I don't know.
That's yet to be seen. I think it's possible. I think because both school districts, one thing I like about this, you have to understand something. I love history, and I even love Black history more. Galena Park ISD is what encompasses North Shore High School.
Mhm.
Their athletic director is an African American female,
Yes.
Vivian Dancy,
Yes.
right? Duncanville ISD is only one high school in the whole district, guys. Now, mind you, Galena Park ISD only has two high schools in their school district, North Shore and Galena Park. Well, the Duncanville ISD, their athletic director, guess what? He's an African American male from Texas.
Mm. From Texas.
I went to college. We went to college together, right? And we called him Smitty. Smitty was the punt returner, the kickoff returner for TSU football. He played alongside Darryl Colbert.
Oh, okay.
He was a receiver, but Smitty was about 5'8", 5'7", little short joke, but boy, he could run. I remember Smitty. Yeah, I was partner.
And Darryl Colbert is a coach at TSU now.
TSU
currently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Darryl Colbert, Donald Narcisse. That wide receiver tandem was one of the top producing wide receiver tandems in the country at TSU. Understand? I mean, that was, didn't win the SWAC, but they would. You got to realize when you're losing, you got to throw. You can't run the ball in the fourth quarter. You got to throw that ball. So they would go. But anyway, that was just a blast to the past. And thanks a bunch, you guys on the Chop Shop, man, keeping us on point. And of course, Angel says, Allen. Yeah, you're right. That's another thing we just talked about the other day. Allen has 7,000 students approximately. When the UIL released their numbers, their attendance numbers, almost 7,000 students in one school. And you know what they do? They're doing everything. If you've ever been in a campus, that's like a college campus. It is humongous. Allen High School. It is. I'm telling you how big Allen High School is. They have streets with names on the streets on the campus of the high school. So if you're driving here, you got to turn here on this street. They have about 3 streets on the property of Allen High School. The school board, they are refusing to build another high school because they don't want to dilute the potency of their talent. So that's the way to do it. And remember, I told you guys a couple of months ago, we're getting into this about how many school districts and how many schools in DFW are in that situation. That and you guys, anybody from Dallas that you're watching right now, you guys know what? Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Douglas, Dwight Weaver's the AD. I'm talking about the superintendent. I'm sorry, I meant AD of Duncanville. The AD is Smitty. I'm sorry, the superintendent
is Smitty.
Is Smitty.
Yeah. Thank you, Derek.
That went to TSU.
Hey, hold up. Todd said they got an ATM in the gym.
At Allen?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. Dude, it's big.
I've been there. That's where they had the In-N-Out burger.
That's the
In-N-Out burger thing
that they give at the end of December.
Yeah.
And once again, think about it. How many school districts where you see potency, where there are only 2 schools or less in Houston? That's one of the reasons North Shore, which North Shore has the most attendance in any high school in Greater Houston, because they are refusing to go and build another school. What they did was North Shore, Galena Park ISD, they allocated the old North Shore High School. That whole school is just a 9th grade campus. Now they got another school, which is a 10th grade campus. Are you following me? So that's to help alleviate the classroom sizes or the traffic during between class in the hallways. Because once the bell rings, think about all those students got to flood the hallway.
Yes.
So that's what Galena Park ISD did. So now you can understand North Shore, why they're so potent. Remember now, I think a lot of people forgot this. Let me remind you. Did you guys forget that North Shore went to state in 2019 in basketball? We talk about Klein Forest. North Shore went to state too. Klein Forest went through Region 2. North Shore was the Region 3 champ. You realize North Shore won state in like 2014 or 2015, one of those years, with Kerwin Roach and the crew? They won state just 4 or 5 years ago. When you have situations like that, then certain schools, they're supposed to win. Put it like this, North Shore High School has more students than if I was to go and combine Cashmere, Wheatley, Booker T. Washington, Yates, Worthing, North Forest, and Sterling. Throw Worthing in there. That'll be 9 schools. No, take that back. 4 or 5 of those schools. If I was to put Cashmere, Wheatley, North Forest, and not Booker T. Washington, and let's throw Fur in there. All of those talent, put them in one, and that would be, they still would not eclipse North Shore. See, Sheldon ISD with C.E. King, guess how many high schools they have? 1. You see? Channelview ISD, which is located, all these are school districts that are adjacent to Galena, to where North Shore High School is. These schools have to fight North Shore away from attracting their talent from the middle schools. Channelview ISD sits on one side of the freeway. You get out there that way and you turn to the right, coming from I-10, you're in Channelview ISD. Turn to the left, you're in Galena Park ISD, North Shore. You keep going 2 miles, you're battling with Sheldon ISD, one high school. Channelview ISD, one high school. Now, what happens? Those schools, expectations you would normally expect for them to do well. However, the only thing that keeps Channelview and C.E. King compressed, because kids have an option to go to North Shore if they're that good. They get the residue. Kids that go to North Shore think they're going to go there and play, they come on back to C.E. King. They're going over to Channelview. Remember now, Channelview is where Jalen Hurts went to high school and starred at. That's where his dad is the head coach. If Jalen Hurts' father wasn't the head coach at Channelview, where do you think he would have went to high school at? Living over there. You're damn right. North Shore High School. Remember, they told us the story, Hatter. The star wide running back, Evans, the star wide receiver, they all went to middle school in a district that only had one school, had 2 schools at the time. It closed it down. It was North Forest ISD. They went to North Forest Middle School. They had an option. You know what they did? Found an auntie or a cousin that got an address over there and went there, but the North Shore. That's what people do. You win, they gonna come.
Jim,
you win.
I know we done win it. You know it's Women Rock Wednesday, and we done went on and on and on. I just found this out. Women Rock Wednesday, right? All the women listening, all the men listening. Jim, for the first time in history, Miss America, Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, and now Miss Universe are all black women. First time
African American or black.
Happened in the history. So that's a Black History Fact today. This Women Rock Wednesday. I know y'all. Jimmy was giving y'all all of these facts. And Jimmy, and I got to pivot to this, Jimmy. I saw something the other day, and I didn't see nobody on the Boomer Room mention it. I didn't hear nobody talk about it. Jimmy, did you see the young man, Isaiah Hill, hit that young, hit the white guy. They playing basketball. Matter of fact, I want y'all to see this, Jimmy. Evidently, y'all might have not saw. Watch this play. It's about to come on the screen. Shortly, I want y'all to see something. And then Jimmy, I've never seen. I'm gonna show it again. It's about to pop up. We got about a 10 seconds delay, but I'm about to show it again. Jimmy, watch.
Still the leading scorer for the Lions, and he only played 6 minutes.
I'm gonna show it one more time so they can see it again. Jimmy, let me tell you something. When I saw it, my jaws dropped to the floor. When I saw it, my jaws, it just dropped to the floor.
6 minutes.
If y'all saw it. And Jimmy, I hope everybody saw it. When I first saw it, like I said, my jaws dropped to the floor. You got to go. I've seen cheap shots before in basketball, Jimmy, but this has to be the most dirtiest and the most violent cheap shot I've ever seen. Here's the deal. Isaiah Hill, who plays for St. Leo University, they were playing against Nova Southeastern University, Jimmy, when he decided to hit this guy named Nick Smith in the face with an elbow. When you watched it, he bangs him right across the face with his elbow, and the young man just crumbled. Jimmy, this was borderline criminal. That was not a basketball play. I want to know what was the background, why this dude took the matters into his own elbow.
I would love to see the tape of what resulted in that.
Me too.
I would love to see.
I said the
what
background. I said I would love to see the background. Yeah.
Because that's the result or the retaliation from something. Even though not to saying it justified the means, but I just want to see what happened because if depending on what the other kid did, you should have been expecting it. If you did something bad enough on the other end or a couple of plays before then, you should have been expecting him to retaliate if that's the case. But I don't condone it, and it's horrible. I want to know. And what was the end result as far as suspensions from the school imposed himself? Of course, the referee
can't play no more to 2000. In 2019. That's not saying 2019 almost up. They just said he can't play. But Jimmy, this is what I like to know, okay? And I'm glad you said that because think about what you just said. You wanted to see the background of it. But I'm going to take you like A Time to Kill, the movie A Time to Kill. You know how the guy told him to close your eyes. Think about it. I don't care what happened. Think about this. What if it was your son? And it happened to your son. Forget what happened. What if that had happened to
you? And of course now, Kevin, Coach Forbes sent us another video of another cheap shot from 2018 where this young guy hit a kid.
Yeah.
And knocked him out.
Yeah.
And in both cases, the referees are standing right there within 10 feet. And totally miss it.
Jimmy, y'all got to help me with these referees. Anthony Fobb, Jimmy, look on this Facebook feed. Do we have any referee on the Facebook feed? I need one right now, Jimmy. I need some referee info. I wish I can call Boone. Let me tell y'all something, man. Jimmy, I have came to the conclusion. These referees in Houston, I don't know about everywhere else. I think they stink, and y'all help me out with this, Boom Boom Room. I think they think somebody came to the game to see they black ass. And I'm going to repeat that. I think these referees around here think somebody put in their clothes and got in their car to come to see them and not the players on the floor. And it's unbelievable, Freight. When a guy go hold up, The man told a coach, listen to me, Freight. He told a coach, I'll sit there and listen to it. Man, you showed is loud. He said, I'm a coach, I'm supposed to be loud. What's your excuse as a referee? I'm going to repeat this. Y'all didn't get this. The referee had the mitigated gall to sit up and tell a high school coach, man, you too loud. Unbelievable. And then a player, what's the kid name? Trae Young and Luka, they'll throw the ball between your legs. LeBron did it before. Throw the ball between the other players' legs. They call it a nutmeg. Do you know the coach stopped the player and said, that ain't basketball. You do that again, I'm going to give you a tech. Jimmy Hicks. I've wanted to take a picture of this dude to make sure he never, ever referee one of your events. I don't know his name, but I'm going to find out his name. And Rick Brown says, Jimmy Hicks. That dude he talked to everybody in the stands. I promise you, I think he put on his little Nikes, that shirt, in them pants, and he probably a good father, a good husband. I'm gonna do the LeBron, a philanthropist. He probably all of that off the court. Okay, I'm not talking about him as a person. Jimmy, I'm telling you, man, I am outdone. I am outdone by the power that these guys, when they put on that stripy uniform, that stripe, whatever that shirt is, and they come in there and be disrespectful like that, man. And I can't stand it. And I'm sorry. Now back to our regular programming. The referee, you said a referee was standing. See, I didn't forget. Right in front of the play, and both times, and did not call that thing, Jimmy. So,
both times, standing right there. And speaking of basketball,
okay,
I want to shift gears and talk a little NCAA basketball, and we'll get into the topic on the 100-point game last night in NAIA.
Okay,
but let me first get some NCAA news. I want to give a shout out and tip my brim over to the Grambling Tigers.
What
Grambling picked up a big win last night over Louisiana Monroe.
That's a big win.
Yes.
Explain to me why that's a big win.
Well, it's a big win because first of all, it's in state, and then Louisiana Monroe is a member of the Sun Belt Conference. So anytime a member of the SWAC can beat any of those schools like that, especially in state, that's about the equivalent of TSU going over there and beating Rice, which we think they probably would, but that helps. Or TSU going and beating up on HBU or Sam Houston State. It's a great for recruiting because a lot of those conferences think that their ice is a little colder than the SWAC. So this is a big win, and not to mention, speaking of Grambling, this ain't the first time they beat an in-state school in one of those compatible conferences. They beat Southeast Louisiana this year as well. Grambling did. Beat Southeast Louisiana this season, and then now they've beaten Louisiana Monroe, which used to be known as Northeast Louisiana back in the days. So I just want to get that out when that's also, speaking of college basketball, how about the Baylor Bears, who have almost guaranteed themselves a top 10 ranking because I don't think they play anymore the rest of the week. They beat Butler last night. Butler was ranked number 18. Baylor was number 11.
That's a good win.
Baylor held on to win that game by 1 point yesterday evening. And so, what does that mean? Well, what's that significant? Well, guess what? Here's how they go with winning does. Baylor's in Texas. They're the only team in Texas ranked in the top 25. And now their staff has 2 Houston products and assistant coaches on the staff that are greatly responsible for recruiting a lot of the players on that team. Alvin Brooks III and Jerome Tang. Ironically, Jerome Tang went to North Shore High School, which we talked about half for the most portion of the earlier in the show. Once again, Baylor. If you hadn't seen these guys play, that's Division I basketball at the highest level. Then this is a great time to go out and watch them play because they will be in town next week as Rossi Karen hosts the Battleground. The Battleground, December the 18th, 3 games, right? Highlighted by the last game of the night, Baylor. I think Baylor's playing Utah State. Give us that schedule, guys, for the Battleground. Anyway, you guys we're waiting. Matter of fact, we'll let Rossi Karen tell you about it himself in a few seconds. But first, let me read the comment that's on the screen for you guys. Yeah. That Bush versus George Ranch game last night was like a playoff game. Bush won 51-50 in overtime. After the game, the kids ran on the floor and an all-out fight was about to happen. At that game last night, I only saw 2 police officers there. From what was said amongst the kids, the game.
I messed you up, baby. Keep going. It's coming back.
Is a rival game. Uh-huh. A lot of stuff was apparently said on social media.
That's why I put it on there for you. I wanted you to see that.
And so now, as we come back, social media and these kids, let me tell you something, man. I don't have a problem with kids boasting or promoting or marketing their team. I just have a problem that if your team lose, you can't accept or take what comes with it. That's why I have the problem. Once again, I embrace kids talking some good, clean, as long as the smack isn't disrespectful or below the belt, meaning that you're talking vulgar, you're talking about somebody's mama, you're talking about somebody's, family members. But good, clean smack, we're going to get up in that, we're going to whoop that ass. I embrace that. I think that's one of the things that's missing right now. We got the kids so afraid to support and show their school spirit.
But Jimmy, you can be respectful.
That's the play. In the respect without going below the belt. So, but we got the kids afraid in a lot of cases, afraid to even talk.
What?
Because they say, "Oh man, you want to be careful. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to give them no bill."
You must don't look at social media. When is these kids got scared to talk?
In basketball.
Cool.
A lot. Let me tell you something, Alan.
You talking about brag about whether they're going to win the game or not? That's bulletin board material.
Okay, but if you give me something back, then we both got some. If we talking good smack, you telling me I'm going to whoop yours, you telling me I'm going to tell him whoop mine. And guess what? We both got something to go on the bulletin board.
But Jimmy, I really never did that. I'm just, so I'm coming from a whole different, I bust your ass, then I talk to you. I'm not telling you what I was going to do before. I'm just telling you.
That's the whole thing. Uh-huh. I'm going to tell you something where time was great. Before every single event that I used to do in this city, that would be one kid, right? That would give quote. That would be a coach would give a quote.
That's you being messy. The kid ain't
messy.
That you the one printed.
Hell, how's that being messy? Is they're saying it? You think I'm not sneak taping them? They're doing the quote for the reason of putting it out there.
Jimmy, it's a kid. Jimmy, that's your journalism. That's the way you do things. It's a kid was talking crazy and reckless after your event, but we got some guys now that said, no, man, we're not going to put that in print. We're going to have a positive interview with you. See, Jimmy, you like to stick up mess because it helps sales the event. But I being an athlete, I didn't like that.
Okay, okay, but look, so you look back.
I want to play the game. I want to play the game.
But it didn't cause no problem. And that was during the era when people saying, I wish we can go back. I wish it can be like that. Well, guess what? It was like that because when different things happened, when the Academy National Invitational took place, it was guys from Houston talking about what they was gonna do to those other teams. We're gonna shock the world. Jones High School, Milby High School, Jones won the Texas division, Milby won the national division in the route to going 39-0. Jawan McClellan and crew, that was Jim Duffer's first year as a head coach. First year. Boyce Honey had retired the year before. Handed the team over to Jim Duffer. He came in there, we're gonna shock the world. We got a very good team. They dispute that. Then Jawan McClellan, Larry Posey, John Walker, all those guys, they were embracing in the smack talk. Bring them on. Then a couple of years later, Yates High School plays Oak Hill. Yates High School, smack talking was at a premium. It was like we gonna get up. We got something for them. Watch what we gonna do.
Okay. But we in a more sensitive society now.
Yes, we are.
I used to like when somebody say something to me, I'm just gonna bust his behind. But these little kids here take it personal, Jimmy, and want to fight. That's the problem, Jimmy. As the facts change, as the facts change, the truth changed. I mean, the story changed. You can't do that no more. These guys, hey man, I'm gonna do something to that dude. Instead of saying, oh, I'm finna go get him 40 for running his mouth. You follow me? So, Jimmy, we in this society, Jimmy, we're in a society where a 21-year-old is blessed enough to have enough money to fly on a private plane. Okay? He takes 70 pounds of weed on the plane and some Percocet and some whatever that old pills on the plane. Instead of him having a wherewithal to flush it down the commode where they could have found later, this kid ate them. Jimmy, this is the society. He's 21. He in the same age group as them little kids, the 17 and 18. They in the same generation. Jimmy, this generation, they don't think logically. So, you saying, what you said, hey man, what you got to say about so-and-so? Man, what you got to say about, man, them dudes gonna take that a little bit more personal than we would. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
No. Once again, you just acknowledge that smack talking is a difference, understanding the difference though. And if kids understood the difference between clean smack and dirty smack, there's dirty smack, a lot of them can't distinguish the difference, in my opinion. So therefore, they don't know what's clean, what's dirty. They think it's all wrapped up in one because that's just the society that we're in right now.
Right.
But if we did explain to them, think about it. Think about this. A lot of the things that people liked, respected, reading the book backwards, that is, about a Larry Bird, was his ability to now understand it's a professional, but still his ability to talk smack, not just talk smack, but the way of which he talked it and backed it up against black folk in the course of the game.
Jimmy, this is a grown man. He's a professional athlete. Jimmy,
our
problem is the kids. And guess what? Larry Bird got Larry Bird got jacked by Dr. J too.
Understand something. We didn't say he was undefeated in the smack talk. We just say his ability to back it up in most occasions against black folk. We had never seen a white guy back it up, talking and back it up in that manner of which Larry Bird. He was the first that came through that backed it up at a percentage clip that he did against very talented Hall of Famers on a regular. That was a lot of Hall of Famers came through his era. Now, what I'm saying is, one of the things that these young people, when it comes to, we just look back at Glenn Smith's event, the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest. A couple of years ago, De'Aaron Fox went head to head with Andrew Jones, right? Mm-hmm. Before that game happened, it was smack coming left and right. And the only time we get that, the best smack that we get whenever it seems like it's gonna be a Dallas versus Houston, we had the smack left and right when Bryce Griggs was playing against Keontae George before the game happened. Think about all of the smack. That's what led to an increased amount of anticipation for the matchup because of so much
Jimmy,
smack.
the kids weren't talking smack though.
But
the kids,
no.
It's the grown-ups who are talking smack.
The grown-ups talking the smack in this instance.
Okay.
That's what smack does. It helps to market.
Okay.
Nowadays, you have people afraid. They'll wait till it's over with, then they'll come out from under the table. See that? What happened to your team? Oh, where was you yesterday?
I like
Where'd you
that.
before the game?
That's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's not all right. That ain't how it goes. Then you understand. It goes into the whole concept.
But everybody ain't like you, Jimmy. You a hype man. You Don King.
What? Give you this. Yates versus Silsby. Those kids were talking smack. And know what happened to Yates versus Silsby? It became a valuable rivalry for 3 years, for a dynasty. Silsby went to state 3 years out of the 4. Yates went to 4. No, those kids were talking smack to each other before the game, during the game, after the game.
Guess what?
Waiting to next season. Guess what? That's what smack does.
Guess what? Well, let's take this opportunity to commend those kids right there for having to be able to handle it and do it. All the kids can't. Those guys there were mature enough to handle it. All these kids are not. That's all the point I'm really trying to make.
Didn't nobody tell them to hush up? Didn't no grown up tell them to hush up? I mean, in a unison, in abundance. That's one of the things.
All I'm telling you, those kids, it didn't spill over. I've been to a Silsby and Yates game. Those dudes just fought on the basketball court. They didn't fight, and they weren't trying to fight. Those dudes were trying to prove it on the basketball court. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make. You say you like it. I don't like the fighting on the basketball. If you want to fight, let's put on some gloves and let's get in the ring.
No, we don't worry about the fighting on the basketball court. We're not liking that. I'm talking about I like the smack that would used to come far and in between before a game. That's a confidence builder. That's on. Now, guess what? Yes, it is bulletin board material for those who allow that. But guess what? Teams like Silsby, they talk smack to everybody. Yeah. When Dallas Kimball had that run with Snoop Dogg, they talk smack to everybody. You got to have a certain type of makeup to be able to talk that talk and walk that walk. But the coach, if the coach feeds into it, then it happens. But then some guys, oh no, guys, we don't do that over here. Guess what? That's
I like to talk smack. I like talk. Gary Payton, one of my good friends, he talks crazy to everybody. That's how he plays. And that ain't the issue. But guess what? People were able to take it. All I'm saying is, I think the topic was talking about fighting. That's the point that I'm trying to make, Jimmy. I don't care if you can talk all the smack you want to. But, man, come on, man. Just leave it out there on the floor. He done bust you behind. He done bust you behind. He done dunked on you. He done dunked on you. Just leave it on the floor. If you want to fight, we got some boxing. We're going to keep some. You know, I used to ride around a long time ago with boxing gloves in the trunk. Come on, man. Y'all, let's. Hey, Jimmy, after 1 minute with them boxing gloves on, both of them tired as hell, done. Jimmy, it don't take but 1 minute with them gloves on.
That's you know, come on, Cat. The kids ain't gonna fight nothing. They ain't even fight a coach.
Guess what? What you say? What you always said? They don't have to, but I gave them the opportunity.
Yeah, the opportunity. Speaking of the opportunity, a lot of these young men. Speaking of college basketball, how about this? On yesterday, we have news that Christian Scholen, he's a Norwegian young man that's formerly with Katy Tompkins High School. Remember, they went to state. Was on their state championship team, not state championship team, state championship game team, the runner-up. They got beat in the finals that year, a couple of years back with Jamal Bieniemy and C.J. Washington and those guys. Christian Sholin went to Georgia Tech, played sparingly last year, was redshirting this year. He has announced and entered his name into the transfer portal. He's leaving Georgia Tech, and according to the intel I received, they're going to take a deep breath, come home and rest during the break. If he takes finals this week or next week, whenever it is, and will assess his options and make some decisions after the holiday break. You remember now, he came out of high school in class of 2018. This class of 2018 now, as it stands, class 2018, from out of Greater Houston alone, has 12 players that have transferred from their Division I ranks. 12 who have transferred. They're only 2 years. Remember, this is the class of 2018. It's December 2019. 12 of them have transferred.
Can I ask you a question? How many had D1 scholarships we had that year?
How many we had that year?
Yeah.
I have to go and peel it up for you. I have to peel it up for you, look in the cheat sheet book and pull it up for you.
You know, I'm just trying to get the percentages. When you said 12 sound like a lot, Jimmy. That sound like 40%.
12 is a lot.
Okay.
And that's the purpose of it. And I'm going to, let's see. It's 2018, I said, right? Here we go. We had 27. Let me make sure. 28. 29. 30. We had 30 that year, approximately 30. So 12 transferred. Mm-hmm. Among those 12, Quinn Grimes, Kendrick Davis, Jayla D, Ajari Sani, PJ Bird, DJ Peavy, Mitch Siriel, and Jock Hughes, both went to SFA from out of Jack Yates. Mello Wilbert from the Woodlands went to Incarnate Word. Nate McClure got a late scholarship offer. Nate went to Concordia Lutheran, went to McNeese. Tamir Bynum from Lamar High School went to UTSA. He's at Prairie View now. And Christian Sholin. Those are the 12 transfers that I know of. And the thing is, these transfers, now, of course, some of these guys got waivers and was able to play immediately. About 5 of them for sure. Bynum was able to play immediately at Prairie View. Quentin Grimes, Kendrick Davis, Jayla D. I may be missing somebody, but that's like 4 I just mentioned right there. They got immediate waivers. But the thing is, on the transfer note, I hope you guys are paying attention. And when in regards to picking the right school, you get 5 visits. Now the rules have changed. You can take 5 visits, I think, each year, starting at your sophomore year now. Nobody's going to take no 15 visits. The NCAA knows it. They know you're not going to go. It takes a different type of family to go through that process where you got to meet with the deans and take a walk through the campus. They're going to show you this, put your jersey, put you make you go change clothes and wear their jersey with your number on it. All this stuff. You get, after doing that stuff once, twice. So they know that. But picking the right school, we hear certain things, but who reads the manual on picking the right program for your kids?
But Jimmy, that's just like in any situation. Jimmy, you don't know that honeymoon phase, Jimmy. Think about Jimmy, just like it's the divorce rate. The divorce rate is high. It's higher than giraffe underwear. I can tell you what my brother used to say. But the divorce rate, Jimmy, what happens is you get there and the honeymoon is over. He didn't talk that way when he was in my classroom. I mean, he came to my house. Jimmy, it's just, Jimmy, I'm telling you, man. You know, Melvin Dews asked the question, what do I think? Melvin Dews, how you expect for them to stay in a college for a long time? They can't even stay in a high school. If a kid get good at a high school, everybody saying, man, you need to transfer it to somewhere else. Jimmy, we get some sophomores that been to 12, at least 4 schools in the same, and ain't a sophomore yet. So you expect those kind of habits to change once you step on a college campus? Because we're creatures of habit. You know a man by his history. If he transferred in high school, if he transferred on his AAU team, and AAU teams are a little bit different because you're trying to level up sometime. So I understand that aspect, Jimmy, because that can be a lot of confusion in summer basketball, and no fault of the parent and the kid. Sometimes it's just not what they say, Jimmy. It's just not a good fit. So what I would just say, hey, and I don't want the kids to stay there and get mistreated. But Jimmy, I remember, I don't know if it was you, but people were talking about the little kid from Tompkins saying that's too much college for him.
Yes,
but
I did not believe that he would last. I thought that Georgia Tech,
but he was a smart kid. So Georgia Tech, you got to know what you doing at Georgia Tech, Doc. Okay, so I'm thinking the parents said, okay,
that wasn't the issue. What I thought about it wasn't nothing to do with that.
That's me. Guess what? That what was told to me from somebody else out in that area.
What? That's the reason why he's not playing.
No. When he went there, when he went. See, Jim, we got to always talk about. See, we worry about when he leave. You got to see the reason sometimes that they go there.
He went there because that was the biggest name that he had, and that young man had played on a non-sneaker team primarily the entire summer, right? And so that's like a gold medal if you don't play on a sneaker team and you get an offer to the ACC. Guess what? No, that
you
means
got to take it. I got a question. You got to take it, right?
No, you don't got to, because remember now, Kenneth Lofton had an offer to Georgetown. He turned it down. Now it was a short window to commit on that offer, but he could have committed in the short window. By the time it came down to October or September, he couldn't have committed. Remember, Chris Walker gave the dad on here the spiel on how you can trouble check it because they delayed the official visit.
Come on, Jim.
Remember,
Jim. Okay.
But he had a window where he could have committed to Georgetown.
He could have committed.
He could have committed, and if he would have committed, they would have took the sign.
Georgetown don't have to come down here and get another player the rest of their life, and they'll be all right.
No, Kirby does. Remember now, Robert Kirby.
Okay.
Remember, 2 of those 4 men from Georgetown was from Louisiana.
Okay, I got you.
On that Georgetown team. Robert Kirby has to. So you're not going to mess yourself up in an area where you built your reputation from. But back what I'm saying is with these young men, and we'll go to the boom boom room and address some of the comments, and somebody has a question for you, Adam. And the question is, what do you think? Why do you think these kids are transferring at such a high rate?
That's what I was answering. That's why I'm answering this question.
Let's do that.
That's the question I'm answering. And I just, dude, it baffles my mind. You got to understand, I was in that situation, parents. My son's last year in summer, Jimmy, Coach Courtney got fired. And you know what I told him? We didn't come up here to play no damn basketball. You came up here to get this Cornell education, Doc. I told him just like that. But I said, no, it ain't no buts. But I can just go to school and just wait out a year, just go to school and graduate from Cornell, and then just go. We didn't come up here to play basketball, son. We came up here to do what we said. Let's accomplish what we said we were going to do. Oh, I had resistance. I ain't telling you everything that happened. I mean, it was resistance. But he didn't. But guess what he tell me now? Jimmy, that is the best decision you ever helped me make. That's the best decision you ever helped me make. Jimmy, them people wasn't mistreating him. He just wanted to leave because they fired his favorite guy. People ain't did nothing to him. He didn't want to, he was going to stay in school now. Stay in school and just graduate and finish it, but not play basketball. So that means he had another year of eligibility left. He could have went couple of. And Jimmy, it just so happened, parents, that particular year, guess what was in Houston? The Final Four, Jimmy. So I got the chance to talk to every coach. Saying, I know he ain't staying there. Oh, yes, he is. No. I said, y'all keep forgetting. And that's what you got to do. You got to go back to the reason you went to that school. And that's what I'm saying, Melvin. And sometimes we forget. And if you don't have a dad like me, because I said, dude, you're not transferring. You're not transferring. And it works out. But now, if somebody mistreating him, then I understand. And like I said, I got a different situation. Jimmy, that's why I keep saying, what are you going to these schools for? Why did you go to Georgia Tech? Why did you go to TCU? Why did you go to Ohio State? What changed, Jimmy, your why? See, Jimmy, I don't know these guys' why. So that's why, Melvin Dudes, I don't know the how, because I don't know their why. Jimmy, you can go.
Not understanding their why. Here's the thing: in a lot of cases, people a lot of players, and we're talking Division I basketball, most are going to play basketball. Mm-hmm. Athlete students, not student athletes. Mm-hmm. Now, what will happen is, because, once again, the sensitivity in our society makes it what they call politically correct for a lot of people. People say they'll throw in, well, they got a great academics, and I can go there, and then you ask the kid the trick question to deflate that whole academic spiel. Not talking about this one kid, right? We're talking about in general. Ask the kid, what you majoring in? And watch how it doesn't justify the conversation. So if you love the academic, what are they known for? What are this school known for? So they known for engineering, and that's their forte of the school that you're going to. Well, are you majoring in engineering? So that doesn't apply to you.
Jim, hold up. I don't mean to interrupt you, but Troy Benham had just said something about Kristen. This guy we talking about, Solinger, right? Talking about academics was a priority. So why the hell he leaving then? Academics was a priority to go to Georgia Tech. Jimmy, Georgia Tech is one of the highest academic places you ever want to bring your butt on that campus. Jimmy.
Absolutely.
So, Troy, my question for you is...
engineering school is one of the tops.
Yeah. My question for you, Troy, is the why. That's what, Jimmy. How did it get this bad then? How did it get so bad you want to put your name in the transfer? Because guess what? Are the teachers not still instructing at Georgia Tech? Since he's a high academic kid. See, sometimes y'all, now I see what Jimmy be saying. Sometimes what come out y'all mouth don't be the same. Your actions don't match with it. Why is he trying to leave Georgia Tech if he was a high academic kid, Jimmy? You help me.
Well, understand. That means that's once again, all you have to do with those questions. That means basketball was at least 50% of the equation. It has to be. You're going there to play basketball. You're on an athletic scholarship. You sign a letter of intent. So the other stuff, you have to realize in certain atmospheres, you mentioned Ivy League. See, there's amenities and concessions that are made if you play basketball at an Ivy League school that aren't made at a Rice or Georgia Tech. Meaning that at an Ivy League school, you don't play unless it's on Thursday, or you play Friday and Sunday, or Thursday and Saturday.
Doing conference play.
During conference play.
Yeah.
Because during the week, your butt is on campus. That way now they know the rigors. It don't stop in their classroom.
Yeah. And Jimmy.
So
Jimmy,
those type of...
And Jimmy, they can't fly to these universities either. They have to ride a bus because they don't...
The lights on in the bus.
And the lights on in the bus. And Jimmy, because you got to be back in class on Monday. It ain't the plane that got delayed and all of that. They don't want to hear that. You got to have your aunts in class that Monday. So and Troy said there is other stuff. Yes, because I know it's other stuff. It's probably because he ain't playing basketball. So that's the other stuff. But
his minutes went down. His minutes went down, and he took a red shirt. He was taking a red shirt. So that's
basketball, though, Jimmy. That ain't got nothing to do.
That's what. Yeah, it got something to do with basketball. It ain't got nothing to do with academics.
No, they ain't got nothing to do with academics. That's what I'm saying. But what he said, hold on. His comment was, Kristen is an intelligent guy, and academics was a priority. Priority mean top. No, it wasn't priority. Because guess what, Jimmy? His actions are not his actions are not lining up with what Mr. Bieniemy just said. That's all I'm saying.
So once again, his offers, as you mentioned, I tell people all the time, if you think about the bulk of your offers, we mentioned the kid Kenneth Lofton earlier, Kenneth Lofton Jr. He's a young man who's on the front cover of this year's magazine, right?
Yes, sir.
Port Arthur Memorial High School. He signed with Louisiana Tech, where I'm pointing my finger at. He signed with Louisiana Tech, right? So this young man had a list of schools that included North Texas. His final list. Think about it. I'm going to get North Texas, Louisiana Tech, Southern, Grambling, Georgetown. Of course, Oral Roberts, I think, was in there. One of those Oklahoma schools, maybe Tulsa. I think Tulsa was in there as well. Throw them in the mix. Think about how the list doesn't see how what school sticks out is the Georgetown. There's no other school in a Power 5 who offered. That family was smart enough. And remember now, he has a brother who works for the federal government, lives in Washington, D.C. Kenneth Lofton does, Jr. His son, the dad's son. His brother works in Washington, D.C. So that was my thing. If you go off, try to go off to a city that you have kinfolk or relative in, because when times get hard, mom or daddy might not have the resources to get on the plane and come and help you out or take you or help solve your problem. You got a brother there, you got an uncle there, an aunt. That's why it always helps to choose cities where you have blood family or supportive people that just like, it's better than some, because sometimes family ain't always supportive, but some type of support system in place that helps. It does. If you ain't got no money or somebody stole your money came up missing and you it's the top of the week going up against the check. If your mama got to send you money, you got to go Western Union, do whatever you got to do. Well, they got PayPal and Snapchat now. But before this thing came about, think about it. You had an uncle ain't there, they come over and take care of you. You're hungry. Play the food. Washing machine break. Go over to Auntie house, uncle house, wash your clothes. Little bit of things like that. So now, in this situation with the Lofton kid, they were smart enough not to fall into the trap, because basically on the chop shop we talked about it one day, and they basically it resonated with the father that it would be a trap just to say you're going to Georgetown. You're not going to play. You're not likely to play as a freshman. So you're going to waste the college experience for 1 year just to prove to everybody right because you played on the EYBL. That means you got to go to one of those schools. No, the purpose is, don't get it twisted, it's Division I. That's the immediate goal if you're playing basketball. You're shooting for the moon. But Division II, Division III, NAIA, those are the stars. You miss the moon, you cling on to one of those stars. That's the thing that we get into when we're talking about this scholarship. This young man right here, he had Christian Sholin, he had Rice, he had a couple other schools that offered, but Georgia Tech was the only one, right? And now a lot of schools were recruiting him, but the main offer that he had coming out of high school. So that means, guess what? He got there and he played a few minutes a game as a freshman. Everybody get gaunchy. So then you look at it, the minutes went from, because they had to recruit over him. It didn't take long. Hell, before the season started, those coaches know it. Do you understand that by the time fall ball comes around, those college coaches know who they about to recruit over right then? Why? Because they're in the houses recruiting. They know it. The thing is, not enough parents do enough fact checking. Not enough parents do enough question asking when it's appropriate.
But Jimmy, they ask the questions and sometimes they won't get the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Remember I said it a long time ago. A college coach will lie to you, parents. Parents, you will lie to those college coaches. You have to find people. If you're doing research, put it like, if you're buying, understand it, if you're buying a car, you're making a life-changing decision for your kid. Why is it so hard? Why wouldn't think about this? Would it be so hard to go and find a player that played on the team a year ago, a couple of years ago, that's no longer in the program, that didn't start? You don't want to talk to the starter unless you know you're a starter coming in. You want to talk to the guy that's the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th guy on the bench, because that's likely what you're going to be coming into a college program. The odds are there. Sure, there's some that's starting right now as freshmen. Yeah, but that's the great minority. So why not go and find? How do you find it? Easy. You can easily find those phone numbers, because guess what? You can ask the coach himself. Can I get the number of so and so? Or ask the manager on the team, or ask the sports information director, or go in and you ask one of the guys that has a scouting service who called up and asked and interviewed your baby, wanted to give him some ink on social media. Call and ask the scouting service guy, does he have a phone number for this particular kid? You'd be surprised. Numbers are everywhere. Let me explain something to you guys. Let me
explain it to me, man.
Because they're like, I'm gonna put it right where the ghost can get it. I'm gonna get you guys something. I got something right here on my desk. Right here on my desk. I'm gonna pull this out right now. Look, what I have right here is this is a media packet from the Under Armour circuit, right? These are the media packets from the EYBL. You know what this has? Everybody's phone number in it. Everybody's phone number. So if I don't cover the country, but I have most of the players' phone number, not to mention the fact I have them, if they're very good or they're a top 100 prospect, I have a database by being on the selection committee for the NBPA top 100 camp. So they're very good. I have all of very good kids' phone numbers. because I'm on the selection committee. But what I'm saying is, if I have the numbers, don't you think that people that's called you, they done, and guess what? Basically, you challenging to see just how much stroke they have. Because they claim that every media guy out there, every scouting service guy out there claim they got so much stroke. But ask them, do they have the phone number for the kid who played on that team? Yes or no? If they don't, that don't mean they don't have stroke at all, guys. Just joking on that part. But what it does mean, it can help you to be able to go and do due diligence on homework about a situation and find out if this coaching staff is trustworthy. Compare some of the things that was said to them that's said to you. Compare different things, because once you sign that letter of intent, that coach is going to change. That is not going to be the same guy that sit in your living room. It's not. He's not going to answer your phone call every time you call him.
And Jimmy,
He's
it
not
makes
going
sense.
to.
Jimmy, it
What'd
makes
you say?
sense. He was in recruiting mode then, but once you sign, he's coach mode. Those are two different modes. They're two different hats he wears. So just understand that, yo. So Jimmy, I mean, it pains me that these young kids, they just they just picked the wrong school. I mean, 12 out of 30. You said 30?
12 out of 30.
12 out of 30 guys said, man, I picked the wrong situation. Jimmy, that's a lot.
That's what I'm telling you.
It's almost half.
A lot. That's just from one area. And guess what, Hatter? There's another one that's going to transfer out of that class. I know this if he hadn't hit the portal yet, I know it's another one from that class that's going to transfer. Jeremiah Gambrell is going to leave Western Kentucky from Madison High School. He's going to leave Western Kentucky. So he's part of the 2018 class. Remember, Jeremiah Gambrell was committed to Baylor at one time. Was committed to Baylor. And guess what? Baylor was going to honor the offer. And guess what? They pulled out of the commitment thinking that they didn't want a red shirt.
Transfer portal.
Dude, this stuff is driving folk crazy. You're hurrying up to make a decision only to wait. And your kids are basically living out of a duffel bag. Duffel bag from place to place. Duffel bags. You know, and that's why sometimes you go in these kids' houses and go to their apartments, their dorm, and they live like they're ready to go, like a trap house. They ready to move. If they'll jump out, boys coming, they ready to get up out of there at any moment. I mean, for real. Living out of a bag. That, you guys weren't taught that way.
That man said trap house.
You wasn't. You can see signs. And so now what I'm looking at, Adam, I'm looking at the class of 2019 that are current freshmen. I'm looking at some of those who are not playing or who are playing less than 5 minutes a game, right?
Okay.
Less than 5 minutes a game, which Jeremiah Gambrell is classified as a freshman now because he's redshirted last year. Mm-hmm. 3.9 minutes at Western Kentucky, right? Mm-hmm. Remember this kid named Quinn Slazinski?
Yeah.
Went to Westbury Christian.
Yeah.
We had him ranked number 1 in the area. Number 1. He said, that ain't enough. I need to be national player. I'm going to go to prep school. Reclassify. I got a Louisville offer on the table, right? Louisville, waiting on him, right? Mm-hmm. Check this out. Quinn Slazinski, this young man. Mm-hmm. And what? Let me find this thing for you guys. This is really, really funny. Really funny. When I'm pulling up for you guys, and you guys can follow along with me.
It's not funny, Jimmy.
No. Let me tell you, it's sad.
Okay.
Not necessarily. It's sad.
Okay.
Let me pull this up. Show you how sad it is. Last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Louisville played Texas Tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech won the game, number one team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
70-57, won by double digits.
Mm-hmm.
Jamias Ramsey didn't even play for Texas Tech. That's the best player. Freshman is averaging about 17 a game. Didn't even play. Texas Tech is playing about 5 freshmen this year.
Mm-hmm.
About 5. They lost 3 in a row, but they beat the number one team in the country. Chris Beard's name is scorching hot. My point is, why I bring this game up? Quinn Slazinski, DNP, didn't touch the court last night. So he's averaging, understand, 3.5 minutes a game, 1 point a game. See, you say you're going to Louisville just so you can thumb your nose and let everybody know, see, I'm right. You're right in the first lap. It's a mile race, right? It's a mile race. But now you got to go 3 more laps. By the time you get that second or third lap, you don't even want to run no more. That's how kids do. They don't even want to play no more. They forget that basketball. That's why you see so many kids fall into the depressive state we talked about yesterday. I'm gonna give you some more names of kids that are freshmen on the court, classified as freshmen, that are playing 5 minutes or less in Division I schools right now, right? Nico Harden from Spring Woods at Southern, 5 minutes a game, right? Of course, we mentioned Kyrie McDaniel, 2.3 minutes. He's taking a red shirt. Remember, his father came on the show yesterday and typed it in and let everybody know, day before yesterday. Kyrie McDaniel will red shirt this year at SFA. So he's going to take that red shirt. And that way now what the red shirt does, it takes the pressure off people asking why you didn't play. You see? That's what that does. It gives you a year to get your academics, get in front of your academics and make a decision whether you're going to transfer or you're going to come back and fight for a spot. Another kid, Kevin Wesley at Jackson State, 2 minutes a game. Keith Heyman at Northern Arizona, 4.3 minutes a game. He's a red shirt freshman, right? Jamel Pink at Detroit Mercy. Reclassified last year, went across the country to a prep school. Now you're Detroit Mercy with Mike Davis. You get over there, 0 minutes. Right? So if it's about academics, we're going to see which of these guys going to stay all the way through and utilize that old scholarship. Because guess what? It's a good academic school. That's what they tell you, right? Give you some more. Jackson Moffitt. He's a walk-on at Baylor, 2.3 minutes. Walk-on, right? Evan Palmquist from Concordia Lutheran, 0 minutes this season. Denario Edgar from Episcopal High School, walk-on, 2 minutes per game. The big kid at Cornell had her, that's the freshman that came out, they recruited out of H-Town, Chooks, from, I think, Fort Bend Baptist. Remember last year, Fort Bend Baptist High School, over there with Trey Phillips. He's at Cornell, 2 minutes. Okay.
I didn't even know Cornell had a dude from Houston.
Yeah, they recruited him. Last year we talked about it. They came in town and they recruited this young man. Yeah, 2 minutes, right? Only played in 1 game this season.
Jim, I don't talk to them coaches. I don't talk to them coaches no more up there, Coach. Coach, I went up there for academics, Coach.
You went there for basketball too. Let them have what year your son did not start?
He started the first day he walked on campus.
And what year did he not start?
None.
Okay.
None.
So let them put your son ass on that bench and watch what happened to academics. It would have went right to, you understand? That's what I'm saying.
Go.
Now, I got 3 more I'm gonna give you. Remember Cameron Cone from Second Baptist High School? Cameron Cone, Second Baptist, he's at Fordham, ain't touched the floor. Not having played, hasn't got a drop of sweat this season, right? How about another one? Anderson Cobb. Now I did confirm he's injured. He has a stress fracture or fractured bone, something like that in his foot leg. So he's definitely injured, and he's gonna probably take a medical red shirt at the University of Lamar. Those are just some of the kids. That's more than half. Howder, I just named you more than half of the class of 2019.
I just texted him and asked him, cause I wouldn't have let him, but I'm texting him now to ask him. So keep talking.
Yeah, you ask him. If his ass would have gotten that bench and would have been playing 5 minutes a game or less, what would he have done? He'd be like, hey, man.
I just texted.
He said, hey, man, call that coach at Rice for me. You know, should they still want to do something at Rice? You know, that's what would have happened.
Yeah, okay. I know. Jimmy, I promise you. Hey, I enjoyed him, but guess what? I would have saved a lot of money. Guess what? Because if he was on the bench, I wouldn't have flew to see him. I'm not flying up there to see nobody play no 5 minutes. Jimmy, I used to even Jimmy, when I go up there, sometimes that he didn't have a good game, get what I said? Homeboy, you could have let me know you was going to play like this. Dude, I could have stayed at home. So, I mean, I can't wait until he texts me back.
So now we got a question in the boom boom room. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, we got to get out.
And I'm God dog, man. Guys, we had so much. I got a meeting
a lot of stuff too.
I have to get to, but I answer the question first.
What?
So, and Bo Thomas says, so are the coaches to blame in any of this? Y'all say coaches lie all the time. Yes, they do lie all the time. Parents lie to the coaches all the time as well.
Parents lie to the AAU coach.
I'm understanding. So therefore, that's why it gets so impressive, because everybody don't lie in the process, but you're prone and you are exposed to the atmosphere which you could possibly be lied to very easily, because the way that it comes, you have no immediate way to prove the lie. It takes homework. It takes the research in order to prove that or challenge what you mistake as truth to be false. And that's the thing. Everybody, the better you are at the sport, the more people that's going to be accessible or insert themselves into your life to make you believe that they can get it done for you. You want to go to this school? Don't worry, I got the coach. I know the coach. You want to go play on this team? Don't worry, I got it. You want to get ranked higher? I know Marcus Sloan. I can get you ranked higher. See, think about it. So that means the pure process is compromised. And you don't realize it because it just you're thinking that somebody's being nice. And then for those who can't get it done, they will make you think that the people that's telling you the truth are hating on you. Don't worry about him, man. He hating on you. They just don't like your son. And then you be in the conversations, you having all these conversations with your son sitting right there in the back seat while you on the cell phone, on speakerphone, and you're putting kids into these conversations. So now kids are tainted. And then they find themselves try to go and help fix the problem. And the kids, no matter how mature you think your kid is, that 17-year-old mind is not likely to ever to win against that seasoned professional recruiter.
Jimmy, I just got the answer. Guess what?
Huh?
I just got the answer. He said, from my son, he said, good question first. He said,
what was the question?
I asked him, I said, if you wasn't playing at Cornell, would you want to stay there? If you was on the bench. He said, that's a good question. He said, I never thought about it because I wasn't worried about it, but probably not. He said, I would have went to Stanford. The weather here was terrible. The weather at Cornell was terrible. That's what he said. He says other option would have been Stanford.
There you have it, guys. And you know, like I say, this is serious. I try to sometimes I laugh and joke, but this is serious stuff. It involves your kids, guys. Your kids, not mine. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have a dog in the fight. Once again, I'm not a recruiting service. I don't care. It benefits me none where your son goes to school. But what happens is, because the college coaches who subscribe to RCS Sports, they pay an annual fee. It's like insurance. How many years some of you guys been paying insurance on your house? When the last time you filed a house claim, a property claim? When the flood, don't count the flood. Think about it. 20, 30 years you've been paying insurance, ain't never filed a claim. Except for when the flood came, or the tornado, or the hurricane, or whatever it was. So think about it. You're paying for insurance. That's what the college coach is paying for. And what we giving you guys on the Chop Shop, this stuff ain't normally free. It ain't. So that's why when I ask you guys to share the show to your friends, share it. We talking some good stuff. You know we talking some good stuff. You just can't be selfish and keep it all yourself. Not every day. Give it to them. And then they'll say, well, man, I don't want to watch that. I ain't going to watch that because I don't like. Guess what? Guess what? Turn your computer backwards and just listen to it then. You don't want to look at it. But with that being said, guys, I thank you guys so much. Guess what? On behalf of Robert Hatter, myself, Jim Hicks, tomorrow we got Teddy Wheeler is going to join us. They're going to talk about the Stars and Stripes event this weekend over at Houston Christian High School, that tournament. And, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about the Battleground as well. Get out and support Rossi Karen, African-American, putting together that triple header on December the 18th at the Toyota Center. He's going to have, we laughed at that schedule at first, but he's going to have a top 10 team in the country playing that, Baylor. Guess what? Our number one player in Greater Houston is signed with that team, with Baylor. So now you go and watch Baylor and you can see, guess what? LJ Cryer, a year from now, that's his team. Those are his teammates. That's his family already because he's signed. Mm-hmm. Just ain't got there yet.
Right. I'm a Baylor fan now.
Support these young men. Support black guys that are trying to create history. That's all I'm asking you guys. And with that being said, guys, it's time to yabba dabba do this thing and slide down Dino's back. There's a starting five on the screen right now. You guys see. We'll see you guys in 22 hours. Make sure you share the show on the way out. We hope we feel you guys with a lot of knowledge.
What's up, basketball fans? Rossi Karen here with U Sports.
Some of these things that
I want to take the time to officially invite everyone out to the Battleground 2K19
See you guys tomorrow.
December 18th here at the Toyota Center. The Battleground 2K19 will be one of college basketball's premier events of the season, featuring Big 12 powerhouse Baylor Bears as they take on the UT Martin Skyhawks. The defending Mountain West champions and preseason top 25 ranked Utah State Aggies will go head-to-head with the South Florida Bulls. And the Pac-12's Oregon State Beavers will battle Conference USA favorites, the UTSA Roadrunners. The background for this triple header